A massive alien royal ship drifts silently, broken and powerless. Inside the wreck, an alien queen waits. She is feared across many systems. Her people believe no human could survive near her. A single human salvage ship arrives. The pilot is Evan, a quiet human engineer. He is low-ranked, unknown, and considered unimportant. Evan boards the ship only to salvage parts. He does not know it belongs to an alien queen. The ship's AI warns him. This vessel belongs to a dominant species, survival chance near zero. Evan ignores the warning. Humans fix things, that is what they do. Inside, he finds alien technology no human has ever touched. The systems are alive, shifting, and dangerous. The Queen watches him through hidden sensors. She expects him to die in minutes. But Evan does not panic. He studies. He adapts. He begins to repair systems thought impossible for humans. Alien observers from far away notice something shocking. The human is rewriting royal code without permission. The Queen feels something strange. Fear, curiosity, interest. Evan reaches the core engine, broken beyond alien repair methods. Instead of forcing it, he uses human logic. Simple tools, direct energy flow, and manual control. The ship comes back to life. Power floods the halls. The royal lights turn on for the first time in weeks. Evan finally meets the Queen face to face. She is towering, glowing, and deadly. Guards aim weapons at him. Evan calmly says, "Your engine coil was bent, I fixed it." Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. The stars were quiet in this part of space. No trade lanes passed through here. No patrol ships watched this region. It was a forgotten stretch of darkness, filled with broken rocks and drifting metal from old wars. In the center of that silence, a massive alien ship floated without power. It was not just any ship. It was a royal vessel. Its surface was carved with glowing symbols, now dark and cold. Long crystal wings stretched outward, cracked and torn. The ship should have been feared. Instead, it was dying. Inside the ship, the air was still. The lights were off. The walls no longer breathed with energy. The great engines at the heart of the vessel were silent. And deep within the ship, seated upon a raised platform, the alien queen waited. She did not move. Her body was tall and elegant, covered in smooth armored skin that reflected faint starlight. Long tendrils rested behind her head, unmoving. Her eyes were open, glowing softly in the darkness. She had ruled for centuries. She had commanded fleets that erased stars. Yet now she was trapped. Her ship had been sabotaged. The royal engine, built by minds far older than humans, was broken in a way her engineers could not fix. One by one they had tried. One by one they had failed. Most were now dead. The Queen felt no fear. Only patience. If death came, she would meet it with dignity. Then something changed. Far outside the broken ship, a small light appeared. A human salvage craft drifted closer, its engines humming softly. It was small, ugly, and clearly not made for war. Inside the craft sat Evan Hale. Evan was not important. He was not a soldier. He was not famous. He did not come from a powerful family. He was just a repair engineer who took dangerous jobs because they paid better. He checked his scanner again. Large vessel detected, the computer said. Unknown origin, power levels minimal. Evan frowned. Looks abandoned, he muttered. The ship before him was enormous. He had never seen anything like it. The metal did not match any known alloy. The design felt wrong, like it was grown instead of built. His computer issued another warning. Caution, energy traces indicate dominant alien species. Evan leaned back in his seat and sighed. Everything out here is dangerous, he said quietly. He did not turn away. Humans rarely did. He guided his small craft closer and locked onto the hull. The docking clamps hissed as they connected. The airlock sealed. Evan grabbed his tool pack and stepped inside. The moment he entered the alien ship, the Queen became aware of him. Hidden sensors flickered back to life, feeding her information. Her mind reached outward, touching the ship's awareness. A single life form. Human. Her interest was minimal. Humans were weak, short-lived. Their technology was crude. Most could not survive the presence of her kind for long. She expected him to die quickly. Evan stepped into a long corridor. The walls were smooth and curved, covered in dark symbols. The air was heavy but breathable. His boots echoed softly as he walked. "Okay," he whispered, "let's see what broke you." He did not know he was being watched. He reached a control panel and opened it using his multi-tool. The panel resisted him, shifting slightly as if alive. Evan blinked. "That's new." He adjusted his tool's frequency and tried again. The panel opened. Inside, the systems were unlike anything he had studied. Energy flowed like liquid light, changing shape as it moved. Most humans would have panicked. Evan leaned closer. "Oh," he said. He followed the damaged power lines deeper into the ship. Burn marks covered the walls. Entire systems had collapsed in on themselves. The Queen observed silently. The human should not understand any of this. Yet he moved with calm purpose. He touched nothing without reason. He paused often, watching how the ship reacted. Minutes passed. Then hours. Evan reached the central engine chamber. The doors were sealed with royal code, designed to block all outsiders. He examined the door, scratched his head and sighed. "No power, no lock," he said, "just metal pretending to be important." He forced the door open manually. Inside, the engine loomed like a sleeping god. Massive rings floated around a cracked core, energy leaking in unstable waves. This was the heart of the ship. And it was dying. Evan's scanner beeped wildly. "Warning," the computer said, "core instability increasing." Evan ignored it. He studied the damage carefully. The Queen felt something unfamiliar. Concern. If the engine failed completely, the ship would explode. The human would die, so would she. Yet she did not stop him. Evan climbed onto a maintenance platform and examined the core. The problem became clear to him. The engine was not broken beyond repair. It was misaligned. Alien engineers had tried to force it back into balance using energy control. That only made it worse. Evan shook his head. "You're pushing too hard," he whispered as if the ship could hear him. "You need to breathe." He powered down secondary systems manually, cutting energy flow piece by piece. Warning alarms echoed through the chamber. The Queen felt the ship weaken. For the first time in centuries, her claws tightened. Then Evan did something no alien would ever do. He stepped inside the engine ring. Radiation burned the air. His suit screamed warnings, pain tore through his body. He gritted his teeth and kept moving. Using simple tools, he adjusted the bent coil by hand, millimeter by millimeter. Sweat poured down his face. His hands shook. "Almost," he gasped. The coil snapped back into place. The engine went silent. Then, power surged. Light flooded the chamber. The ship shuddered, then stabilized. Systems across the vessel came back online. The royal ship lived again. Evan collapsed to his knees, breathing hard. He laughed weakly. "Yeah," he said, "that'll do it." Across the ship, the Queen stood. Her eyes widened. The impossible had happened. A human had repaired a royal engine using his hands. Guards rushed into the chamber, weapons raised. Evan looked up slowly, exhausted. Towering above him stood the Queen. She was more beautiful and terrifying than any image human records held. Her presence pressed against his mind like deep water. Evan swallowed. "I can explain," he said. The guards waited for the command to kill him. The Queen stepped closer. She looked down at the small, broken human who had saved her life. Instead of speaking aloud, she leaned close and whispered softly, so only he could hear. "Come with me, humans." Evan stared up at her, unsure if he was dreaming. And in that moment, the fate of many worlds began to change. The royal ship moved again. Stars bent into long lines as the engines pushed the vessel into faster space. Power flowed smoothly now, calm and stable, as if the ship itself felt relief. Evan lay on the cold floor of the engine chamber, breathing slowly. Every part of his body hurt. His hands shook. His chest burned with each breath. He was alive. That fact surprised him. Alien guards surrounded him, their weapons aimed but unmoving. They were tall and sharp-edged, their armor grown from living crystal. None of them spoke. The Queen stood before Evan. Up close, her presence was overwhelming. The air felt heavier around her, charged with quiet strength. Her glowing eyes studied him carefully, not as prey, but as something unknown. She raised one long hand. The guards stepped back. Evan struggled to sit up. He winced but managed to look at her face. "So," he said weakly, "I'm guessing you and the ship." The Queen did not answer at first. Instead, she turned and began to walk away. Two guards lifted Evan gently but firmly and followed her. Evan did not resist. He knew better. They moved through halls now filled with light. Systems hummed softly. The ship felt alive again. They entered a vast chamber filled with flowing energy patterns. This was the throne room. The Queen stepped onto her platform and finally spoke. "You repaired what my people could not," she said. Her voice was calm, deep and clear inside Evan's mind. She did not need sound. Evan swallowed. "It was just a bent coil," he said. "Anyone with hands could." "No," the Queen interrupted. "Only a human would try." Evan frowned. "That doesn't sound like a compliment." The Queen watched him closely. "To us," she said, "humans are fragile, short-lived, your bodies fail easily, your technology is crude, you are not feared." Evan shrugged slightly. "Yeah, we get that a lot." The Queen stepped down from her platform and approached him. "And yet," she continued, "you entered a dying royal ship alone. You ignored warnings, you placed your body inside an active engine." She stopped just before him. "You chose action over fear." Evan did not answer. The Queen turned away and looked at the stars beyond the wide viewing wall. "My empire fractures," she said. "The Council betrayed me. They sabotaged my ship so I would die in silence." Evan's eyes widened. "They did this to you?" "Yes." The Queen's voice remained steady, but the space around her darkened slightly. "They fear change, they fear weakness, and now," she said slowly, "they fear you." Evan laughed once, dry and tired. "Trust me," he said, "nobody fears humans." The Queen turned back to him. "They will." The ship exited faster space and slowed. Ahead lay an alien world like nothing Evan had ever seen. Towering crystal cities rose from glowing plains. Massive structures floated in the air, held by unseen forces. Energy streams crossed the sky like rivers of light. "This is my capital," the Queen said, "and you will walk it." Evan hesitated. "I'm not exactly built for this place." "You will be protected," she replied, "by me." The ship landed. When the doors opened, silence fell across the capital. Thousands of alien eyes turned toward the ramp. The Queen descended first. Then Evan followed. He felt smaller. The air was heavy but stable. The ground hummed faintly beneath his boots. Everywhere he looked, aliens stared at him with open distrust. Some looked angry. Some looked afraid. Whispers spread quickly. "A human. A tool. A mistake." The Queen raised one hand. The crowd fell silent. "This being repaired my ship," she declared. "By my will he stands under royal protection." Murmurs erupted. Evan walked beside her, heart pounding. They reached the inner palace. Guards sealed the massive doors behind them. Evan exhaled. "That went better than expected." The Queen studied him. "You are calm for one surrounded by enemies." Evan shrugged. "If I panic, I die faster." The Queen paused, then gave a sound that might have been amusement. Days passed. Evan was given a chamber designed for his body. The Queen ordered food created to match human needs. Engineers watched him closely, recording every movement. They did not trust him. The Queen visited often. She asked about Earth, about humans, about why he became a repair engineer. Evan answered honestly. Things break, he said. Someone has to fix them. And when they cannot be fixed. Evan thought for a moment. Then we make them useful anyway. The Queen considered this. Then the attack came. No warnings. No speech. The sky above the capital darkened as ships appeared from faster space. Alien council fleets surrounded the planet. Alarms screamed. Defense towers powered up, but systems failed almost immediately. The council had planned this well. Inside the palace, advisors shouted in panic. They've disabled our shields. Our weapons are unresponsive. The Queen stood tall, her expression cold. They move sooner than expected, she said. Evan watched data screens flash red. What happens if they breach? He asked. The Queen looked at him. Everyone dies. Evan nodded slowly. Show me your defense corps. The Queen hesitated. Then she turned. Follow me. They moved deep underground to the planet's main defense hub. Massive energy conduits pulsed wildly, systems overloaded under forced commands. Alien engineers tried to control the flow, but it only made things worse. Evan pushed past them. Stop, he said. You're fighting the system. One engineer hissed angrily. This human understands nothing. Evan ignored him and knelt beside a control array. You're routing power like it's supposed to obey, Evan said. It won't, it needs limits. He disconnected several main channels manually. Alarms screamed louder. Human and engineer shouted, You will destroy us. The Queen raised her hand. Let him work. Evan rewired the core using a mix of alien systems and simple human logic. He created feedback loops, forced balance through restriction instead of control. Outside, council ships fired. The first blast struck the atmosphere shield. It held. Then another. And another. The shield adapted. Defense weapons came online, not as designed but stronger, faster. Alien gunners stared in disbelief as enemy ships began to fall. The council fleets hesitated. They had not expected resistance. The Queen watched the battle feed silently. Evan stepped back, exhausted. That's all I can do, he said. Now it's up to you. The Queen turned toward the councils, command, signal and broadcast to all systems. This human stands with me, she declared. Know this. The final enemy ship retreated. Silence returned. The capital lived. Later, in the throne chamber, the Queen stood before her people. This human repaired my ship, she said. He saved my world. She turned to Evan. What do you ask in return? Evan looked around the chamber, at the aliens, at the stars beyond. Nothing, he said, just don't waste what you fixed. The Queen stepped closer. You may return to your world, she said, or remain and help reshape ours. Evan smiled faintly. Humans had always wondered. I'll stay, he said. The Queen leaned down and whispered once more. Come with me, humans. This time it was not a command. It was trust. And across the galaxy, the idea of humanity began to change. End.